Next to me, I have the 2018 Audi RS3. This tiny car does 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. That is supercar fast. It has a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine producing 400 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. But wait, there's more. The owner, of course, didn't think that the 400 horsepower was enough, so it has a Stage 1 tune by APR. This little thing now has 540 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. And yes, of course, it's quattro. You guys can do the math. Probably the most exciting Audi model you can get on the US market today. It's not an RS7 that costs $100,000. It's not the new RS6 that is completely quiet, although it has one more cylinder than this car. You can get an entry-level RS3 for $54,000. However, the car in today's video is not a base model. It is a fully loaded $69,000 Audi RS3. Now, we all, of course, want to know what it's like to drive this car. What does it sound like? What type of emotions does it give? How fast is it really? Especially since it has an APR Stage 1 tune. Now, I promise the performance of the RS3 is, of course, going to be the main focus of today's video. But before we get behind the wheel, let's do a quick exterior and interior tour of the 2018 Audi RS3 because it is a pretty good looking car. And in typical fashion, we will of course start with a traditional walk around. And I think we should start up front and take a look at the engine bay, because the RS3 gets the magnificent 5-cylinder power plant. Now, there is something about this 5-cylinder that I will not be able to explain correctly. The cylinders fire in a specific order, which gives it that very, very distinctive sound. Now, with our tester today being pretty much fully loaded, it has almost every option package that Audi offers for the RS3. Now, part of the Dynamic Plus package in regards to the engine includes a carbon engine cover. So this is a very nice touch right here. Now, on a regular RS3, it is limited to 155 miles an hour. With the Dynamic Plus package, that goes up to 174 miles an hour. Now, also part of the Dynamic Plus package is ceramic brakes. Now, we're going to talk a little more about that when we're driving the car, but just like my AMG C63, when you pick the ceramic brakes package, you only get it up front and not in the rear. So back to the front here. Styling for the RS3 is awesome. It looks very, very aggressive. It's got a big grille up front, and personally, I love it. I think it looks absolutely awesome. We have full LED headlights and daytime running lights. Now, the car weighs around 3,600 pounds. So for its size, I feel that it could be a little lighter, but I'm assuming that it's because of the quattro system that it weighs it down a little bit. Now, moving along to the rear end of the RS3, very good looking here as well. Now, the owner has also chosen to black out all the badges here. So the RS3 badge is in black, and as well as the Audi logo. We have a nice and pretty subtle black rear tip spoiler. This is actually part of a optics package. And while we're back here, we'll take a look at these pretty big exhaust tips. These come with the Dynamics package and the RS Sport exhaust that we talked about a few seconds ago. I was actually surprised when I first saw the car that the tips were of this size. Now, for a bit of practical information, we'll open the trunk. Not tons of room back here, but for the size of the car, pretty normal. Fits a lot of my camera equipment, I know that. Now, we have 5-spoke wheels sitting on Pirelli P0s, and we have 235/35/19 diameter tires in the rear. And up front, we have 255/30 diameter tires, of course, 19 inches. And with that, I think we're gonna jump inside. As we open up here and take a look at the door to begin with, he has the carbon fiber options as well. Looks really, really good. And Alcantara in the actual door panel here. The buttons, they just look typical Audi. Everything you need, of course. Windows, side mirrors. You have a little cubby right here and a button to pop your trunk. And I absolutely adore the interior of the Audis in general, but this RS3 looks amazing. The only thing he's really missing is the RS design package, where you get red accents in the interior and the seats, around the air vents and so on. But one interesting thing to note is for a $69,000 car, you do not get power seats. They are manual except for the power lumbar. That is a very weird thing. I don't really understand why they would do that. I don't know if, you know, they're going for weight savings or something. But, you know, having manual seats, I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's just if you want to go up and down on the seats, you have to use this lever. If you want to go front and back, it's actually quicker to not have power seats and go the old school way. But still, for 70 grand, yeah, I want power seats. Let's jump in here, and we are going to start it right away because it is very hot outside. Now for the key in the RS6, it's still a flip up key. It looks like, I don't know, a key from an Audi TT in 1999 or something. However, we do have push button start still. Now inside of this new RS3 is a very, very nice place. Starting with the steering wheel here, leather up top. As we come down to our 9 and 3, Alcantara, of course. We have a flat bottom RS logo right there. And I feel like I just need to start talking about the virtual cockpit right away. If you buy a car like this and you don't spend the $3,200 on Audi's virtual cockpit here, I don't really know what you're doing. This is by far a game changer and industry leader right now when it comes to infotainment system. This is absolutely amazing. You can of course change the views here by clicking this view button right here, and you get more of a performance oriented instrument cluster with power and torque gauges here, and you still have some of the navigation screen to the left. But I love this full screen right here, navigation screen, where you can zoom out with this scrolling button here. I actually zoomed in first, but you can zoom out all the way into outer space. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely amazing. It looks so good, and you still have your tachometer right here and your speedometer on the right side. I mean, it just looks so good, and it does interact with the screen you have right here in the middle. And by the way, with this button right here, if you don't want the screen right there, you just click it and it goes away. But the more cool tech, the better, so we'll just keep the screen up. Now, I'm not doing a full comprehensive review of the MMI system and this whole screen right here, but I mean, just look at it. It's amazing. And while it is very high tech in these new Audis, I still feel like the interior is pretty minimalistic, and to me, that, I mean, that's a good thing. We have the screen right here, very nice design of the air vents. We go down here, we have our climate control settings. We have a drive select button right there, which you can also navigate through with this button right here. Then we have two cup holders, USB port in there. Now the owner has a radar detector, which I have disconnected because I do have my V-Box with me, and I'm sure you can figure out why. We'll get to that here in a minute, I promise. Now with the carbon fiber package, you can see this little panel right here as well. Of course, on the passenger side and for the rear passengers also. Now this beautiful leather interior continues to the rear seats, which is amazing. Very, very good interior in the RS3. Now the gear selector all the way down to drive, and then you have sport. Slap it to the right, you have it in manual, and this dual clutch transmission is lightning fast. Pretty big paddles. They do have a good feel, kind of textured in the back here, so you feel like you have a good grip when you're shifting. Now, before we do what we probably should be doing already, which is driving this awesome machine, I apologize, I did forget, and this is something I do in all of my reviews because of my height. I am 6'2", and this is, of course, my driving position. We're gonna jump in the back seat to see what kind of leg room you have. So you can see already it's pretty tight. I'm gonna jump in here. I mean, an A3, S3, RS3, what have you, is of course not the biggest model in the Audi lineup, and this is kind of what you would be looking at for a gentleman of my size, or lady for that matter, sitting behind someone of my size. But other than that, it is comfortable back here. These leather seats are very, very nice. But yeah, I'm not really interested in sitting in the rear seat. Let's jump in the driver's seat and get this bad boy out on the road. Okay, well, enough of all that information. What's it like to drive? Sport, manual, traction control off, brake down, pedal to the metal. Jesus. All right, I'm not even on a regular road yet, so I had to slow it down before we hit 60, but that was 50 in about 2.5 seconds. It felt like, at least, and it was slight downhill, so yeah, maybe it doesn't do it complete justice there, but damn. Woo! Now, with the Dynamic Select package, you do get fixed RS suspension, so it is pretty stiff, I have to say. But this is what I've been waiting for. When the owner, Nate, contacted me and asked if I wanted to review his car, and he said that it's an APR Stage 1 tune on it, I was like, wow, I love these cars. Ever since they came out with the new RS3 with this 5-cylinder and the 400 horsepower, I've been wanting to drive this car, and this is just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's gone from monster to absolutely insane. The pickup in this thing is just nasty. All right, just getting out on the highway here. Now, I know it sounds good from the outside, as I've talked about already, but inside of the car, it's actually pretty quiet, even if you open up the very nice sunroof here. I can't open it now because the GoPro's sitting there, but it is pretty good sound deadening in here, which is actually kind of disappointing. And the shifts are lightning quick, and you can tell how fast the car is, but while you're at speeds, it doesn't give you that kick. It's sort of like a very linear power band, and this digital gauge is just, it's awesome. I hope this GoPro here is picking that up. I mean, what a car. This thing is such a rocket. Wow. I feel like when you're in a car that, for the first time, and it's a fast car, but you yourself already own a fast car, it's different driving the new car that's fast. You feel like you're going too fast, and there's cops all over the place. Although there's really no difference. But the most interesting thing that we're gonna find out here, at least to me, that's what it's gonna be like on a flat surface, launch control to 60. Because this thing is so fast, even in stock format, 3.9 seconds is very, very quick. And with this tune, given the car, it hasn't been dynoed, by the way, so we don't have the wheel numbers yet, but crank numbers, according to APR, should be 542 horsepower and on E85. If you go with 93 fuel, it should be around 472, I think it was. But that's a lot of power for a car of this size. Now, in the near future, the owner is actually going to get downpipes on the car and a new intercooler as well. So definitely go follow him on Instagram to check out his build of this awesome RS3. All right, so we're at a spot here where we can do an actual launch control. Now, if you live in PA, you understand my pain here. It's hard to find a very flat surface. There's always little hills. So right now, we're in a slight little down, I mean, it's very slight, and then it's gonna go up. So I feel like it's gonna even out for our little test here. We got our V-Box ready to see what kind of numbers we can come up with, and launch control in the RS3 is pretty simple. I explained it quickly in the beginning here of the driving portion. You just turn traction control off, make sure you have it in dynamic mode. I'm gonna keep it in automatic the first time here. Put your foot on the brake, pedal to the metal. is an aggressive launch control, to say the least. Jeez. Now, what did we get here? 3.6 seconds. Whew. Man, this car flies. Damn, that's quick. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna keep it in manual this time because it was kind of jumping off the rev limiter in automatic. Oh my God, that is fast. Jeez. Woo! Damn. I mean, that is so aggressive, and the way that it shifts, it just throws the gear in there. It goes, I don't know if you guys picked that up on audio, but it goes boom. Wow. 3.5 seconds. I'm not kidding. That was 3.5 seconds in a slight uphill grade. This was at a different spot. Oh, that is seriously fast. 3.5 seconds. I mean, there's supercars that can't do it in 3.5 seconds. They might have lower official numbers, but yeah, try getting it to 3.5 seconds. This is an Audi RS3. Now, granted, this is fully loaded, but you can get this car for 54 grand and then get an APR Stage 1 tune. And you have supercar performance. This is insane. Now, they have Stage 2 and Stage 3 tunes as well. And there's several videos on YouTube of RS3s doing the quarter miles below 10 seconds. I mean, these things are lethal. Now, of course, we got to do that again. You guys ready? That is aggressive. I mean, I shift before red line and it just boom, throws the gear in there. Damn. Woo. See what time we got this time. 3.4 seconds. I am not kidding. Since we're in a slight uphill grade there, we're gonna redo this on the way back where it's a slight downhill and see if we can get to like 3.2. And we're talking very tiny grades here. It's not like this. This thing is sick. I mean, I've driven a McLaren 720S, but I never did a launch control in it, and that's by far the fastest car I've driven. This might be the fastest acceleration I've ever experienced from a dig. Woo! 3.3 seconds. I am not kidding you. 3.3 seconds. Now, like I said, that was in a slight downhill. I'm talking a miniature grade here. But still, in the uphill grade, it did it in 3.4 seconds. So I guess I got my shift better the first time. .3 seconds. I'm not kidding you. 3.3 seconds in a slight uphill grade. I got the shifts perfect on that launch control. I'm sure a professional driver can freaking get this thing under 3 seconds. Maybe not under 3 seconds, but very close to it. God, what a car, man. With a simple ECU tune, well, they have done the E85 conversion as well, but you know, it's not any bunch of upgraded turbos and intercoolers and this and that. I'm impressed. Very impressed. We haven't even talked much about the handling, but yeah, these RS dampers, I mean, you can definitely tell that this car is lighter than what I'm used to driving. 3,600 pounds, my fat ass in here, it's about 3,800 pounds, but yeah, it's definitely a difference. Woo! Yeah, so in conclusion, the driving portion of this video, and of course, the most exciting part of this video as well. This car definitely is in its prime from a dig. The launches are just ridiculous. This thing is so fast. Now, what would be very interesting to find out is how this car would stack up against my car, the C63 AMG, in a roll race, that is. Not from a dig. I would get completely destroyed. But wow, what a car, man. This was an adrenaline rush. It's an absolute monster. It's so worth the money, especially with the tune. Now, again, you don't have to go and deck it all out if you don't want to, but a must is the Dynamic Plus package and the technology package at least. You should check those boxes if you are in the market for an Audi RS3. Oh man, big thanks to the owner, Nate. Definitely find him on Instagram and follow him, show him some love. He has an absolutely amazing car that he is in the process of making even more amazing. Now, one thing that I haven't really completely been able to capture on camera, or on audio I should say, is the squeaking of these ceramic brakes. I wanted to really capture that because that is the one main gripe that the owner has about the car, is that they make a lot of squeaking noise. And I heard it in the beginning when I was test driving the car before I started filming. There we have it. Very loud squeaky noise. That's kind of annoying. But other than that, like I said, this car is absolutely amazing. For the price tag and the performance numbers you get with a minor tune, even at stock setup, actually, you can take down cars that cost, you know, 10, 15 times the money of this one. I mean, wow, to the acceleration. I guess I haven't really done the driving experience of this car complete justice, because I'm more focused on the massive acceleration performance that it has. But just driving around here, very comfortable in the seats. It's actually, like I said earlier, pretty quiet in here, so it is refined. You can tell that it's an Audi. It's a luxury brand with a hell of a kick to it. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the 2018 Audi RS3 with an APR tune. Here comes a turn. I've had a lot of fun, at least. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.